What a beautiful day. You're welcome to Nimrod Radio What News. We will go through the headlines of the news stories first. The grand fight of Israel and Hezbollah, the result of invasion. The established stronghold of Ukraine receives Russia's focus, 2 years resistance. The tensions in the Middle East will influence the nations of Africa. Nigeria will be restored by the good character of the leaders, Utomi. We'll return shortly with the details of the news stories. The grand fight of Israel and Hezbollah, the result of invasion. As released in the report, not less than 100 rockets of Hezbollah coming from southern Lebanon were brought down by the Iron Dome of Israel. The increasing sound of the blast announced the intensity of the fiery battle greater than the northern hills of Israel without its visibility. According to report, Israel engaged different types of operations on Lebanon ground for not less than 36 hours. The news reported could not get close to the most dense area, but series of investigations were carried out to know the real happenings afar off, as at the time of gathering the news. As reported on Wednesday morning, a statement from the Hezbollah group was a claim its attack was successful on Israel, as many were seriously injured. Another reaction was from the military of Lebanon, which is not part of Hezbollah group, that Israel gained entrance as far as 400 meters into Lebanon, but withdrew later. The Israeli military, as stated in the report, gave a clarity to the information. It engaged in a confrontational battle with Hezbollah for the first time on ground. It was an experience of fight involving both at a short distance from each other. Israel Defense Forces let out a footage showing the movement of its troops in day and night time, but the event of fight was not in the video. As stated in the report, the confirmation about the death of the first Israeli soldier since it invaded Lebanon was given. IDF sent words of condolence to the family of their member, Captain Ethan Oster, who died on Wednesday. The tension of many members of IDF families due to the rumor of the victims at the battle on the social media was taken away as the information about the death of Ethan was released. The tension gained more power on these families when it was announced, as reported, that another division of the Army of Israel was relocated to the border of Lebanon, for this is the place where mapped by the Hezbollah group. According to report, the Prime Minister of Israel reacted, "The mission is entirely new now, and so it is important that Israel withdraws home in their thousands." The troops of Israel already has lost, and many people of Lebanon have been driven out of their homes in order to escape. The established stronghold of Ukraine receives Russia's focus, 2 years resistance. As in the report, the troops of Russia on Wednesday gained access into the eastern part of Ukraine, Volodya town, a place that seemed to have defense over years against the serious attack of Russia since the expanded war of 2022. As reported, the developed forces of Moscow, in charge of 1/5 population of Ukraine, has identified the advanced strategy with which Russia was ready to step up in its expertise, calling out for more weapons of war from its supporters in the western part. According to report, towards the preparation to defend its territory, the Eastern Military Command of Ukraine explained a pullback initiated at the Etop mining town was necessary to prevent the troops of Russia from invading their land. This is to secure personnel and the facility of the military. The defense team of the city, as reported, is the 72nd Mechanized Brigade. It released the photos of the soldiers that were wounded with the tagged message on a social media platform. The days are very difficult. Indeed, the Defense Ministry of Russia though made no mention of Volodya as he gave the daily report on the event on the battlefield. The Telegram channel of Russia released the video of the troops where they were waving the tricolor flag of Russia above the ruins buildings. At the advent of the war, the population of the people in the town was destabilized, crushing the Soviet-era apartment structure alongside. In the reaction of the President of Russia, Vladimir Putin, he mentioned the intention of Russia is to have the entire region of Donbass, Donetsk and Luhansk provinces located in the southern eastern Ukraine. According to reports, the war broke out in February 2022 and became stronger in August as Ukraine forcefully gained access through the Kharkiv region to create a kind of diversion on the forces of Ukraine. This created the chance for Russia to advance more into eastern Ukraine. The elongated battle has made Ukraine suffer so much as the opposition put in its best to take over Volodya, just like taking the whole city, come what may. Flanking attacks brought down the defense capacity of Ukraine as the war intensifies and as relayed by the Eastern Command of Ukraine on Wednesday. The tensions in the Middle East could influence the nations of Africa. As reported, the fears generated in the Middle East after the attack of Iran on Israel are multiplying as it is possible for conflict to grow wide, and this will in turn affect the sea travel and the security of certain nations in Africa. As an instance, according to the U.S. report on trafficking, some women are vulnerable in Lesotho, and for this, they were enticed into South Africa by the usage of the social media platform to advertise unrealistic jobs to them. Meanwhile, they were being forced into different menial jobs. The CBS debate, which involved Republican Ohio Senator J.D. Vance and the Democratic Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, took a different turn compared to the usual presidential debate and the ongoing politics in the United States. It was a decent and encouraging one, as noted by many analysts of politics and by those who participated in voting. African nations, therefore, need the factors that could help their development and not the negative influence of war. Nigeria will be restored by the good character of the leaders, Utomi. As stated in the report, in his explanation, the professor of political economy, Pat Utomi, said the goodwill of Nigeria can be better off if those in authorities are of good character. On the news agency channel, Utomi mentioned Nigerians have human capital to step up among the people of the world, for he believed the needed progress is directly related to people of value and those who are grown properly in terms of character. As stated in the report, he further said, the public seat of authority should be occupied by those committed to good living, then things will change for better. He sympathetically stated, Nigerian values and good culture have suffered loss, and this, he said, is due to collapsed national institutions. Citing instances he mentioned, the court and electoral service must be robust before there can be a notable progress in the nation. He also stated, culture and value have a way to give shape to the lives of people. Stronger institutions should be built according to him. The law should get hold and deal with those in wrongdoings to maintain orderliness. Character is all that matters when the institutions like the judiciary can perform its function, having a good grip on its role to move the country forward. Before we end Nimrod Radio World News, let's run through the news stories headlines again. The grand fight of Israel and Hezbollah, the result of invasion. The established stronghold of Ukraine receives Russia's focus, 2 years resistance. The tensions in the Middle East could influence the nations of Africa. Nigeria will be restored by the good character of the leaders, Utomi. Thank you for watching Nimrod Radio World News today. My name is Bimpe Esan Adedeji. Enjoy the rest of your day.